this is a real test here in their second series.
Right, so starting things off, it is going to be Haven, of course, PaperX on the attacking side, which of course means Leviathan on the defending side, and we get to see this composition in action as it ticks the boxes. And speaking of aggression, volatility, already taking so much space over towards A-Long.
That's it. Leviathan look to reinforce behind this. Jing going to be revealed. That's it, a load of pressure coming through. Benkai is the one to open things up though. Shy will fall. Eventually, kill returned onto Jing, so 4v4 presented.
I'm looking at the space being closed on the other side of the map. C-Long now being just tested further and further. Now losing Adverso is a bit of a problem because King's on an island. Got plenty of players hearing that Prowler clear through A-Long. Smoke going to be committed, but there's the contact. Taco not going to get what he wants, but King does. Finding two is huge, but Taco caught on it. What?
Oh my God!
How has Taco gotten away with that? Forsaken with a shocker and Mind Freak. Well, 1v2, and he's got himself a bit of room to play with.
To get through again, deal in the trap, but really a decent idea of where he's positioned. Popping B and Melza. Come away to stack up with Takalia because he's down to 22 HP. Leave the back door open here for Mind Freak to potentially find this plant on A for free.
30 seconds left.
Still a decent amount of time to work with. Actually, look at the early progress back through B site now, Lauren.
Yeah, quick clear, I like that. Wasting no time on this.
Plant's going to be pressured.
It will be. They're close enough that they can get towards it. And there's the tap on the spike. So, you can already see them slowly creeping in. No steps heard just yet, but Mind Freak has no idea where they are. Zero clue as it stands, so commits the utility as early as he can, gives himself a chance. But it's two players coming back in. They can trade Taco if they have to. Melza was the safest pair of hands for Leviathan in this map before. Watching back that Liquid series was key for him. And well, Mind Freak, it couldn't have gone worse. Melza and Taco clean things up. Gonna get that defuse going in. And speaking of volatile, I think that round was highly, I guess, telling of how the rest of this game may go.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things that's a big concern coming to Haven is just how poor Leviathan's retake statistics are, right? So expect this to be the trend that's set very early, and for them to really enforce this kind of, I guess, emphasis on map control. We were talking about, obviously, how the First Bloods in terms of favouring EDG the other day. This is something PaperX have got to keep in check very early on.
Speaking of keeping in check early on, we've got the buyback in. Mike, Stingers are out. Heavy armor behind it, the lot.
They just deathball this, actually.
It looks like, I mean, they're eyeing up Garage, right? They're eyeing up maybe towards B. They've still got that headhunter in there. Well, I say that.
Well,
one
in
bullet.
the chamber, yeah.
It ain't much to bring in, but maybe it'll do the job. So on the other side, it's potentially Melza to feel a lot of the strain early on if they did spin through Garage, but it will be towards B. So Adverso smokes on either side. He's very much alone, going to deal with the Prowler and push further forward. Now, there's two players already in the side, but he's been able to cut through that. Perfect play from Adverso, reading this well. But can he deal with the rest? Yes, apparently he can. And these Stingers aren't quite finding the value until now. But Jing down to 3 HP in the spray. He's not going to do it. Now 3 stand for Leviathan. And Mind Freak, well, that flash does feel as though you've been noted, but again, spike not to hand. Does he get anything out of this? No, Shy smartly played right to the back. So there's a bit of damage. The rounds for Leviathan.
I mean, this all just came apart. One fault line. Stop them from maybe getting in 2 seconds earlier. Again, there's a slight chance for them to recover. Leviathan just close it off. Really well played from Adverso. Actually repositioning perfectly here. Benkai, I don't even think fully aware of where Divide taking that damage from. Beautifully done.
Beautiful work. Adverso, what a start for confidence too.
They're rolling Thunder on. Nice and early as well. That's actually not necessarily in this round. We've got a couple of Sheriffs coming in, but could be huge if they do carry across some of these SMGs. They're around ahead in terms of the expected timeline here with that forced purchase coming out from PaperX, but
this is rolling my mind back a little to that Liquid game, right? I looked at Leviathan, who got, I think it was 5-0 up in this. Taco just sticking around as long as he could, does take down Jing.
5 of 3 bullets so quickly there as well.
Seems unreasonable, but again, it's the playing dangerous games with the economy, right? Playing on those force buys, going back in with the Sheriffs here. And for Leviathan, they already passed that test the first time in my mind. Now, I would say PaperX are a different team to Liquid when they work around this, but still, for Leviathan, it's such a passing of the test this early on. So for what PaperX have left, chip damage would have been fine, but again, it's only against the Spectres and odds and ends. It's really not much.
Mind Freak able to do any damage against the grand scheme of things. Not too big a deal. run the clock down just a little bit, but don't expect anybody from Leviatan to be scrambling to find these kills now.
Oh, the double stack on long is dirty. These angles almost impossible to clear like this.
Remaining.
Yeah, lovely, lovely double stack for
30
Leviatan.
seconds left.
Go back to it as well, Benkai. I mean, if he can get one, that'd be pretty much the best he can hope for here. Feels more like a formality, and it is 5 standing for Leviatan.
And here at a 3-0 scoreline, you think about it, again, what they bring into this round is kind of irrelevant when you look at the ultimate progress. Rolling Thunder here, Showstopper not
King
too
ain't
far
far,
away.
yeah.
Shy as well, 2 off. We're looking at potentially the next round, even if, God forbid, like Leviatan convert this as well. They're going to come into the next so well equipped.
But and in my mind right now, I want to see if Leviatan are able to... Any damage here is huge. And I also
They've been winning out in the early round. It's not really been close.
No, it's not. And for me, again, if they do lean towards that C site, Melzer was, you know, God's gift for Leviatan in their first debut here in the group stage. So Paper X need to wake up and wake up now. Otherwise, that scoreline becomes a real issue. But of course, look at the purchase now. Heavy armor coming in, rifles coming out. So they do at least have the buy behind this now.
It's the same setup again towards C-Long. One tucked into Cubby here. Actually, Forsaken does find Tackle and this time around, Dubai will find out Melzer and Cubby. Fault line comes soon. Actually, that's a little ahead of the curve, just desperate to try and slow things down or get a kill at least. The Paper X has 5 will find the plant.
That's perfect. Stability. 5 standing and the plant to go down. Now, keeping 5 alive would be obviously the dream come true. Keep those rifles, maybe build back some finances in this. Work towards your own ults. Again, Jing not far off his, Forsaken, Divide, they're all building towards this as well. That first cycle is going to really look quite brutal here.
A clean round here, actually, from Paper X. Swings the pendulum back over when we talk about those ultimates. If anything, Shy maybe go through, try and find a kill before we get that ult orb online. I really said for King, one off the Showstopper. They're not going to be given an exit at all. Paper X making their way back down long. Actually, Mind Freak will find King. Shy will actually potentially give this up.
There we go.
Fall through. Doesn't want to actually give the ult progress across to Paper X.
Probably the right choice considering how many are just on that verge here. So many going to be hitting through pretty soon. Now, you noted it early, Adverso and King having the fantastic start of their ults coming through, and they are potentially round changing. Very influential ults as well on the other side. A couple not far away, so let's see if that comes into effect. But you couldn't ask for a better start for Leviatan, but again, same sort of thing can be said for Paper X. Now they had that full buy, right? They got everything they needed. It was clean enough. They'll be happy with that. But now we get into the meat of things, right? Taco's got the op out. That's what we want to be seeing coming to play. How does this change things?
When we get to these buy rounds, that's when we're kind of more interested in what happens in the early round, right? How deep Leviatan want to dig for these opening engagements, and how much success they find as well. See Tackle here actually tucking in pretty deep here. Adverso already preemptively rotating away. He spotted a barrel.
Yeah, and I'm just waiting to see how they plan to force him off angles. How do they try and force this man away? He's already quite an aggressive player. He's very confident in approach, and normally rightly so.
As well.
Yeah, Prowler being sent through down towards middle from that defending side, but it's all about timing now. Taco has committed great deals of time towards this. Now, the rest, though, of the attacking side, still eyeing up the rest of the map. They've taken control towards B. They're holding for this, potentially, and they're just isolating one. I mean, it is Forsaken. I don't blame you for trying to go for it, but it's Taco slipping the net just a touch. Benkai now down. You're going to have Forsaken left all alone.
The problem being they noted Forsaken's repositioning, so they can invest a little bit. They know they have a Super 1 advantage. Forsaken just charging up. Suez here. He's going to find a kill.
How is he not flashed at all? Forsaken still going to carry on forward. Now Taco's going to push himself just a little bit deeper towards the site, and he's actually got here in time, right? Time enough to hold this down. They can't overcommit just yet. There's still that exploration towards middle from Mind Freak that could cause problems. They seem all too aware. The double stack towards the connector prepared. Shy, so hyper aware of that. Very smart play. Taco sitting deep on the site. This is beautiful work from Leviatan.
You not to trust me.
Well, it seems like Paper X scrambling for a response there. I mean, Benkai picked off, not being aware of the potential. Forsaken's been spotted, and Takalia has such a deep angle, but again, you can see the intent, but it's just picked apart by a couple of individuals from Leviatan. Again, great work. Yes, it seems a little weird to see the investment there, the Rolling Thunder, but They know that they've got the lighter side of the stack, right? They have the weaker end of that default. If they can flush Forsaken out.
You know it's getting hyped up when you're literally blowing out the mic already.
In round 5.
Oh man, it feels good. And again, this is an early timeout for PaperX, and probably rightly so, because that was the first, I guess, even challenge. Technically, right? They both had that bye coming in, and already they need to come up with a plan. Something here. There's plenty of ults for Leviatan too now rolling forward.
They swing through from a really, really clean conversion of that flawless in the previous. Yes. And then, like I said, it was almost like they left a couple of late pieces they were looking to rely on, but Leviatan's proactivity is what ultimately nets them that round.
It's quite lovely to watch, and again, I think a lot of us were quite impressed with the first times we really got to grips with Leviatan over in Copenhagen, right? They finished
they had a tough drawing.
They absolutely
like that.
did.
For that to be, you know, their draw in Copenhagen, we didn't really. And the first thing we always talk about is the international context of some of these map pools, some of the results regionally and whatnot. It was a pretty rough start for them, to be honest. But again, to come through here, be booming off the confidence actually of defeating Liquid, right? That has to be something they've got to be really happy with themselves there.
They do. Let's see what the adjustment is for PaperX. Off the back of that timeout, they still have a bye coming in here. One ult to play with on the back of Jing, and you know, if he gets activated, maybe it could be a big difference. Maybe not. King loves it down. The combo is gorgeous. And that's Aeon to Raps, and again, they're already exploring that. They're already taking that space away. There's no even moment of doubt in mind. It's perfect. Now the response in kind, not incorrect from PaperX to try and take B. Take somewhere on the map. Nightfall comes in, so audio now just dimmed down. So little to be heard. They've got to be cautious about this. Plant is going to come in though, but they can't hold this for now. Adverse already going to find him Benkai.
Jump across Melza. So gonna find another one. Mind Freak now, the last man standing. All of the first hurdle.
That's 5 standing!
So well handled.
Operator instantly gone, right? Forsaken out of it. Barely got a look into this round. Instantly.
I feel like he must have just not heard the sound cue there of that income, because he jumps into range of his TP immediately. But it's literally an insta-kill. An insta-kill. And this, I mean, this is what I kind of talk about. It feels like the early round here that they almost have to brute force an engagement. They don't have anything to, you know, put Jing in a position to really force a defender off a deep angle or anything like that early on.
Now, a little bit of a switch up to an extent here for PaperX, but again, look at the purchase. It's still going to be Stingers and Sheriffs. It's far from pretty. Now, you've heard the ult come through, so Forsaken does get his name in the feed. That's the first to be found, which is Melza. So C looks way more vulnerable. Timing could be devastating. Only going to get one though. Takes down one, the quick trade out. Averso's still going to do damage, but this is good so far. This is a chance. Rez invested too. They are desperate for a round. Wall still in place towards CT. Should buy time, and Forsaken just getting bodies. It's all on Shy now, 1v4, and there it is. They found the vulnerability. Both of these rounds really coming from that C piece now.
I mean, it comes on the back of that opener, right? It's the first time PaperX have comfortably, or at least got away scot-free with finding this engagement. In a little pace shift on the back of it. But it's asking a lot. That's not something you can replicate time and time again here.
It's very not easy. Quiet starts for PaperX. Forsaken though, critical kill in that round. But again, finding that every single time is going to be the hard part, because again, rolling my mind back to that Liquid series, Melza was the safe pair of hands on that C side, and he was tested time and time again. So I wonder how he adjusts going forward. And speaking of adjustment, the pace change is there. Jing going to try and take a little bit of space at the very start. He's going to hold it, sends it, does not get a thing.
I was going to say he's actually going to catch one on the cross here, but...
King's not back in though. He's still here.
They're doubling down.
It's so precarious, so dangerous. And Jing, Shy just dives into the smoke. Adverso's still on the site though. Quick rotations, reaping quick rewards. And a 3v3. Spike now recovered, but they knew there was a little bit of attention towards the backline, so the correct amount of paranoia put towards it. We can see where Taco is. He's already got himself towards that A site. But where do PaperX take this now?
Window of opportunity here to free access to either other site, but PaperX is so paranoid now because of how versatile this aggression has been from Leviatan. They've got to consider every possibility.
They have no info, Mike. Walking back to clear this.
With this amount of time now, they're left guessing if Takali is repositioned. He finds himself back towards Garage, back towards B site.
30 seconds left.
They might have the read though.
Yeah. Absolutely right for now.
The ping coming through again. They're guessing that it's a hard clear through plat here, just in case anybody's playing very close contact.
Again, we know it. All going in towards Garage, and actually, Benkai playing in front of that. Spawn going to go down. Nothing to really deny this as it stands. This will be a post-plant. We've already questioned some of those statistics coming in of these retakes being a potential problem, but let's see how they work out here, because Adverso's got means.
Does Benkai have an out? I mean, on the minimap it's hard to tell, but no, I don't think he does. They're just going to set up. They're going to double stack here towards CT.
They're trying to get proactive and maybe just trying to get... Oh, didn't get ahead of this one. Benkai needs to deliver. Forsaken's got his back. We're going to find one. Turns around, loses. Taco pins down Benkai, trying to bail out the boy. Forsaken, but he doesn't need help. 2 kills already and needs 3. The 1v1. Taco to the site. Rifle to hand, but time starting to tick and Forsaken waits. A tap on the spike, draws him in! And Taco takes him down. The time it's going to be close, Mike.
I don't think he's got it. Oh my god! Right down to the wire though. Again, the rolling thunder,
good, man,
almost,
good.
yeah, almost in a position where Benkai's getting. But look at the awareness to put this smoke up, just to negate any possibility there's any aggression coming back through that window. So heads up from Melza.
No one else could do this.
Oh, a fraction earlier. A fraction earlier. Different scenes completely. 5-3. What do they do with this now? Finding a little bit of room here, Paper X. And that's more. That's the start they need. Quelling Taco could be huge.
Oh my god.
Like that flash.
What?
How did they get away with that? I thought Adverso was good for potentially 2. Not the case. And B is theirs.
Another pace change as well. Look at this. 1 minute and 20 left on the clock, and already they're wrapping back through B towards A. They know that the aggression's come back through A lobby.
This is really good adjustment from Paper X. What a response. These mid-round calls, these heads-up plays. Yeah, King maybe can fill a bit of the gap here by playing towards Su. It could be a nuisance to this, but how much damage?
Spike planted.
Come on, man, do.
So Mind Freak actually, very late piece here. Melza, I'm not sure if he's heard a step or what, but he's actually aware of the possibility. King will find Benkai down in sewers.
There's 2 on long. That'll be so difficult to get past.
Forsaken actually gave up the angle for a moment there. At this point, just looking to try and punish the economy a little bit. Melza's position as well. That gives you that impression. But Forsaken's missed this cross here. So he was holding it initially, but they got to come through. Melza spotted elsewhere on the map.
Good. Really nice damage for King. He's going to be happy with this one. Not bad at all. And actually, Melza's found Mind Freak too. That's huge. They cleaned up.
Wow. I mean, it's still going to be able to buy, but like I said, forcing all of these repurchases through. Leviatan actually going to call the timeout now as Paper X get within 1 round. In this pace change, where you can see immediately, once they're finding these first bloods, Paper X are desperate to try and follow through on it. Create these openings, and actually Adverso, pretty unfortunate not to be rewarded with that flash in mid, I gotta say.
It did look
3 players able to turn it perfectly. I think it was initially Forsaken, I think that was the first up towards mid, but wow, what a start to this. Again, even just from a stylistic standpoint, this is both of these teams able to create chaos, right? So it's always kind of a flip of a coin of how some of these rounds play out, right? It's if you're there to greet the aggression on the defensive side, what actually happens in turn from that. Leviatan happy to follow through though. I immediately there, after that pressure came in mid, you could see, like, right, cool, A lobby, let's take it, let's push all the way through.
But I think that's why we say like a volatile team, because Leviatan technically aren't like hyper aggressive the whole time, right? They don't play to the same style of Paper X to a degree, but they just have such volatility to them, which is so exciting to see, because you could have one player having impact here or there because they will take that space. They have a really interesting approach to the game. But at 5-4, we can't discredit the start that Leviatan had, but giving credit where it's due to Paper X, this is just pedigree showing through here. These 4 rounds have been able to build back, have been fabulous. Kind of surprising they've been able to carve this back through after the back of the timeout. Taking a little bit of time, but bringing the scoreline back to a very respectable point now.
Actually, as the ultimate start to dwindle at least a little off beat here. Forsaken on a mad swing to try and find that opener. Comes away from it though, but Nightfall invested. I don't actually think it catches anywhere on sign. This one-way could cause massive problems. Bolt like to follow up as well.
They are completely and utterly stuck in towards Garage. How do you fight your way out of this one? I guess you bank on Mind Freak, who's going to get you that. Takes out Taco, but there is support here, but he's found a second. Mind Freak doing so much work for Paper X, just opening up chances. Mind Freak, the positioning couldn't have even been better at the end there. Now King left in a 1v3. Now yes, chip damage achieved towards Divine and Forsaken, but okay, that's clean. Utility, Divide goes in though. This now gets so tricky to work further forward on. One towards long, one towards sight. And Mind Freak, so much value in that one round. Mike, his entry work alone was very impressive.
Yeah, and it's beautiful the way they can create all this pressure with so many bodies stacked towards Garage, and Mind Freak's the one to just pick up the slack, right? They're slowed down by the fault line, by the one-way, and he absolutely bails them out here with these 2 kills.
Because they were stuck in Garage at this point. In my mind, I thought this round could have been cooked. There was 3 players on site. They had rotations in. I mean, it was a lot of what the win conditions would have been here.
Even Adverso was able to get behind this setup where they can put a little more focus to stopping him. He's able to benefit on the back of that one-way, but
beautiful work.
Mind Freak just carves the way for his team to follow through. And that's all tied up now.
And the buy is... Alright, man. Alright.
Forsaken's taking so much damage in these opening engagements, it's crazy. I mean, once again, not falling here, will get the heal. And very proactive from Leviatan once again. On the back of that, Paper X, they flip the switch.
And Mind Freak all too aware of this, but there is still that potential danger. There's something lingering in the sewer, and it will be Taco. Now, they've navigated around this, they will be aware that there is that chance of it, but again, how much danger can be made with these weapons? You've got a couple of Stingers, 2 rifles in there, a Spectre as well, so it's bits and pieces, but the backline is being watched. Mind Freak so cognizant of this now, going to tuck himself in. Shy, first one to make the real test happen. This is a fight across the map, keep in mind. Actually, Mind Freak's gone down. The follow-up, Shy's opened up space. Taco now makes his appearance, and say bye-bye!
What?
Taco finding space, Shy finding that opening chance towards long. Another ridiculous round here.
I mean, Shy being good for the first is great, but...
The second?
And then the whole time, Taco's just tucked into sewers. The Rat King himself comes through, backstabs this, opens up the retake. Leviatan actually come through here, find their 6th.
Hello, Respite.
Paper X is by now.
Oh, right back at you. Welcome back to the Stingers. Yeah, and finding this,
It's the awareness as well, just how clear Shy is clearing through.
God, and
Benkai actually popping off there, what?
And you still lose, right? I can't, I physically cannot do any more. That's mad. I'm glad we got that POV. Appreciate that one. But coming back in, operator out for Taco. On the other side, couple of ults coming in, but again, the purchase, Mike, you noted it. For the final round of the first half here.
They missed the paint shell there.
That's unfortunate, because Benkai would have been dead to rights.
That would have been a double.
Like. You reckon?
I'm pretty sure. Oof. Res gone, wall gone.
Oh, the impact that could have had.
All of the awareness here is that Jing's going to try and open his way onto B side once again with the showstopper. Sound cues there now. No way. Shy's got beneath him. Oh.
Benkai got him this time. Okay, the Stinger wins out. He takes all this space and will eventually send it.
Oh,
He's going to catch him. He's going to fight Taco. That's unbelievable. Almost the over pushing, but good work for Info. King right back though. Gonna pop the ult and try and clear out the B side, but you can still see the effects are on the side itself. TP away, really nicely done. Calm and composed under pressure. These 3 players for Leviatan gotta get a wiggle on. They just can't find the players. Benkai chip damage is done, but it's not enough. Device want to do it, and now 2 left alive, and Divine wants in. Gets denied. Adverso's there, 2v2 now, but time is ticking. He's got to get this to halfway, and there's nothing that can stop this. Surely the spray's coming in. He's not.
No way!
Move.
Oh my god!
Mind Freak! Saving him again!
Right down to the wire.
Ridiculous, Mike. These rounds are so close.
And how we coming out is 6-6 as well. Paper X showing stability here, or at least the ability to stabilize. So Jing does so well again, posting this, finding it blind. And maybe a slight overstep here to try and secure the second, but all the meanwhile, counter aggression coming back through ceiling. I mean, just another half second on that smoke.
That was terrifying to me, seeing it down so close to this. But what a perfect scoreline, 6-6. I could not ask for a better way to start this one off.
Oh, I could not either. Pansy, thank you very much. I'm back here with Jess and Ryan, and thank God they stabilized Ryan, because for a second I was really worried for Paper X.
Another bright start for Leviatan, like another pistol as well. They're constantly sort of pushing those through, but it's the fact that Paper X are winning those 1v1s as well. Like we just saw there, like Mindfreak winning in the moment. There was still 2 lives, but still, and then that Forsaken clutch. It is those small margins between the two teams, so the fact that it's this even is great. You look as well at the fact that it is a comp change for Paper X. They go back to something a little bit more comfortable from beforehand. It was the stats fully from the Haven game versus Edward, and a lot of those kills were on that defense. That's where we're going to be seeing that chamber go now for Forsaken, but so far he's been looking pretty solid on the agent.
I love the fact that we can sit here at halftime and be like, okay, this is a fair and square game. We expect it to go to map 3, but as per usual, you know what it's like with me. I have to put a little bit of a, an asterisk on that and say the defensive side for the side of Leviatan, especially against Team Liquid, was impressive. Like, I don't label impressive size, very often, but that one was impressive enough for me to say Paper X needs to be able to take the momentum of evening it up at the half, win pistol. Like, I'm saying they have to win the pistol out of a team that wins almost all their pistols so far at this event.
Gotta break the streak.
You gotta break the streak, not only that, but you have to one-up them on one of their best sides on this map. So Paper X wants to snatch this away from them. They've got to do that at least.
It's hopefully people are getting it into their heads now that this Leviatan team is the real business. Like, this Paper X squad is still strong. They're still adapting and improving, but this is a hell of a series and a great start to this map.
Well, both of these teams mean business here. Let's jump into the second half with Pansy and Hypok.
Yeah, the scoreline for me is the perfect way to lean into this game, because I think the Death said it quite well there, that this is very much a clarifying moment for Leviatan of their capability, right? That they are proving once again they are a very diligent team. Copenhagen wasn't a one-off. They found value once again. But Mike, here for Paper X, they're being tested time and time again. These teams are just getting better and better.
This is the real test now for Leviatan, though, because Paper X have a phenomenal defense success rate. In terms of round wins, this is going to be an absolute... But I expect the same thing once again, but Paper X to dig even further. We've got a triple stack towards A site right now, and Leviatan as 5 are creeping this way.
Woo. There's the contact, Jing. You better be ready. They're coming your way. That's one. The second, not going to happen. Benkai trying to keep the composure for now. Going to pop the wall up. Actually, Leviatan hit the brakes for a second here. Maybe readjust consideration. Look a little closer towards Sewer, but no one's going to give him much play here unless they snap towards Benkai. Ain't going to happen. He's got you.
He knows
and now player advantage. Yes, huge information.
Actually, Leviatan with the correct read, though. They do want to re-aggress behind this. Another 20 seconds or so until this wall comes down. We'll have to deal with the reveal, at least on long. Still show presence, but eyes drift towards Takalia now. He's able to navigate his way through. There's a trap stopping him in garage at the time. Let's see if that pulls anything. On the back of this wall about to drop, and yeah, it does just do so now. Completely unfazed so far, though. Forsaken still just holding on to B site.
And look at this composure. He's seen 2. He's absolutely seen the second. He couldn't
Trade's fantastic, though.
Get it onto show, which is kind of surprising. I thought he was dead to right, seeing both of those barrels, but not to be. Spike now going to go down, but it is a 2v3 still. A little bit of utility still in play for Melzer as well. Keep that in mind. And actually, Shy's going to use that as the springboard forward. And it's Melzer there, finding both. Now the HP's low, and Mindfreak was so clutch on the first half. He's going to need a little bit more of that now.
Concealment.
How much can you get done here? Just the tap on the Spike. He wants to draw them in. And they might need to check this. He wants at least one of these 2 players, and the tap on the Spike, and it's so tense. They're waiting for this one. He's got to fight the both. It's only one. Melzer with 1 HP is more than enough.
This paranoia is pixel perfect as well, by the way. The way it comes through doesn't actually catch Shy as well. Puts him in a position to dig even deeper into A-League. Beautiful synergy between the 2 players from Leviatan. Again, it's unfortunate as well. Mindfreak, ton of time here, but neither player biting on those first 2 baits of the tap. And another pistol converted hit.
Those are awesome. Seeing the watch parties around the world. So damn good. And roll your mind back to how that round started. It felt like Paper X had such an upper hand at the very beginning of that round.
Even being able to cleanly disengage from that 1-for-1 trade. Like, yeah, you get the first blood, it's traded, but they're able to reset, and that's key for the defensive side, right? They don't get overwhelmed. You know, Benkai's able to slow things down with that wall. So even considering that, it's the recovery factor from Leviatan is fantastic.
Yeah, such a dangerous team. I feel like there's just threat at all times. And the same I feel can be said for PaperX, to be fair. Just seeing it clearly so far, at least in that first pistol. Now, late haunt towards long. Not going to find too much. It might spur on PaperX going on a fact-finding mission here, because you can see this somewhat very deep default, taking their time, down to about 50 seconds now for Leviatan, just going across the board, trying to go through all those check marks, which, not necessarily a bad idea, but the timing could be pretty brutal, because they're just clearing through A, so they're going to be making this call over towards long that, well, Forsaken, you might have some people coming your way. And there it is. Already has to be forced away. Wants to do some damage here if he can. Oh, there's someone flying towards you. The flash comes in. He's so dead. Absolutely dead to right. Put into bed. But Taco's gone down on the back lines. Now, there are sheriffs here. Excuse me. Devi has a sheriff still, so don't think it's over just yet. No, it's not. Devi's still going to do damage. It's 3v3. But surely they don't get any more here. Look at a nice post plant. Lovely crossfire in place. You play safe, right? You swing off contact. There should be no problems. There's the first problem found, the second, and there it is. Shut down before it started. They keep the 3 standing. They get the second round.
Important as well. I mean, Tackle affords it. It's only a classic that he gives up here, so makes it a little harder for PaperX. I mean, they still find a follow-up on that, but well handled here from Leviatan. Jing just desperate with a short to get on side, get close to anybody. I'm just actually... Leviatan going to bring 2 Bulldogs and 2 Spectres. Obviously, Tackle will have the Sheriff in the back pocket as well.
So not bad, yeah.
Well, it's only Adverso that's 6 below 2k as well. Actually, a couple of light shields on the side of PaperX.
Forsaken wants info on this. I mean, him being proactive does, I guess, allow Jing to push down middle. So this is not bad at all. Testing this default pretty early on. The flash is, he turns it so well, but he can't get away, and Forsaken commits to it and actually loses. So now you're going to have a 4v3 with the advantage sitting with Leviatan. And already, Taco taking a lot of space towards A. This could be their next route they want to explore.
Benkai just tucked in here. There's a chance he is overwhelmed, though. As all 4 members of Leviatan stack up, slowly creeping his direction.
Now, the one bonus, I guess you could say, is that Mind Freak's cleared. You've got the Prowler now sent down, so he should be very aware of this, but taking no risks. They want to invest behind this. Benkai going to sit behind the wall. Prowler going to come his way no matter what. Haunt comes in. His position's noted. There's no escaping that fact. But can he still do damage? He absolutely can! Back to the wall! Benkai still going to get 2 in this and bring it down to a 2v2. Devi and Mind Freak surely have a big say in this matter. Devi going to find the first, taking down Adverso and Taco. This is not a comfy 1v2 at all. Using the wall for a little bit of comfort. Mind Freak isolated the second now. Devi looking so vulnerable. That could have been all but over, but I mean, they make it across the line with 1 standing.
What a beautiful setup from Benkai, though. Backs himself into a corner, puts the slow orb down, able to isolate this first one, and actually, I mean, even there, falling at the point he did, he gets 2, goes down swinging, and that makes it doable for PaperX. Beautifully done here to find Shy and Melsa.
Such a good player, just finding value in those moments. Again, he put his own back to the wall because it was the best bet he had. So well done. And at 8-7 though, you need a couple of those moments for these boys. They need a couple of these players to find that, next level, because you see Leviatan are heating up here already towards the top of the board. Mind Freak, his first half performance was absolutely phenomenal. Adverso, similar scenes, of course. Hitting that ace, I think that was super early, but right back in we go. Judge out for Forsaken. That's going to be in play. Rifles galore on the other side.
Jing? What? I respect it. I do.
It's a little brave.
I do. Punished for it, though. Early advantage created here for Leviatan, and expect them to reset back to this very deep default here. But Devi! What?
Such precision.
That was a double tap.
Gets both of them, and he was so vulnerable for a little while. They had to fall away, fall into sewer, try and not be found, but to still bail him out with 2. PaperX thanking their lucky stars for some of this. Now, that will really show that the judge is in effect, so potentially telling that 2 players are on towards that A side.
Exactly, 2 weapons noted now at least, so see how Leviatan actually formulate a plan on the back of this. Wall now drop. No, actually, what the end plan is here for PaperX, because they're giving up B side. I mean, this mid hold is going to be a little weaker just considering the numbers. Shy's got to stay alive in garage though, and that's Mindfreak going to find him.
Okay, just two though, Taco and Melza. Diving in, Forsaken's had enough of Melza. It's all on Taco, a 1v3, so many angles to worry about, and he's revealed Forsaken. There is no sympathy in this, he just dives on in. Okay, so we have a game on our hands once again. It's gonna be all tied up, 8 apiece here, Mike.
And an opportunity for Paper X to reset, so they come into this with an extremely scrappy purchase and make it work.
Look at this, the precision on this, wow.
Maybe not double tap. Didn't look as intentional the second time around.
You take it when you get him, and he'll tell you is I absolutely meant it. However, it's and look at the damage it's done as well now. Leviatan down on those odd stingers on Sheriff's coming in. Plenty of ults to play with though, so they're trying to get these through. But Paper X, the last 2 rounds have started to, I guess, correct the ship a little.
Let's play.
Exchange of util towards a lobby here. It's actually 4 members, but actually on the
And
other
pick
side
on
of the
one.
map, Taco's found Mindfreak.
And there was no, it felt like there was almost no intent for that to be the end game plan, but you find value, you might lean towards this now. Can they punish its rotation? But look at what Paper X are up to. They're pushing 3 down long. They're going on an exploration mission. And surely if you're Leviatan, you are not even considering this timing yet. Surely there is 0 alarm bells ringing just yet. And he's seen one, he's got a glimpse. He pulled the trigger and he does a little bit of chip damage, but now you're gonna be sweating bullets on the other side of the side. It's
No way, Benkai.
He is so good in these rounds, though. We need him to go clutch again. How much time? How much value?
Oh, no!
Can he find? Nothing! King is there, dives on in. Benkai can do nothing about it. Taco gonna catch Forsaken on the flank. And now Divine Ching. Oh dear, it's falling to pieces. Divine out the last one alive. This is ridiculous this round.
And whether or not Devi's even going to be able to find one here, the hold on site so well reinforced here. Actually, Tackle making his way back through mid. Melza going to be one to clean things up, but
that pick.
Pulling something from nothing. And it's the timing of when it happens. It's just at the end of this exchange of utility towards A lobby. It just plants that seed of doubt. I mean, Benkai scrambles his rotation quick enough where it's almost just ahead of it, but you can see how overwhelmed he was. The timing of the TP to backside, just everything,
There was no escape.
everything thrown his way.
That was a bailout round from Taco, I've got to say.
Absolutely.
Well. That guy delivering in just such ridiculous ways. So much talent that man has. Cracking open opportunity. Now, similar scenes. Right back at it. Stingers out.
I don't expect the same level of aggression here, but Paper X can sit back and maybe absorb this here. Spike not committed just yet. So Leviatan almost feeling as if Paper X might get a little curious. No confirmation either way just yet. But, I mean, with this early progress, Leviatan will hear this rotation.
Absolutely.
And Paper X love doing this. They'll kind of wait it out for the first 30 seconds or so and then scramble, just gamble stack elsewhere. Like I said, with King being that deep in sewers, you have a real opportunity here, but I mean, need to get ahead of Forsaken. I mean,
He's going to be back sometime. I guess the smoke's going to be going up now. Yeah, okay. He had a split second to work with. It wasn't much. So the gamble stack doesn't particularly work out this time. So the spike will be planted. Can't really doubt Paper X doing it in a round like this, considering their purchase. It's worth it. As I said, it's a gamble stack. Maybe you get it right, maybe you don't. As it stands, though, the retake is going to be very difficult, considering, one, they'll be incredibly light on utility to make anything happen, and two, of course, the weapons are lacking. And with Leviatan's approach like this, they still had a little bit of util to play with. And here we go. First couple of attempts, not really going well for Paper X here. 3 back-to-back full. Leviatan keeping somewhat 5 alive if Shy can make it out of this. My freak. He's gone. It's 5 standing. Leviatan going to make it towards double digits now with this Prime Gaming flawless round.
I feel like Paper X have to answer back now. Needs to be relatively clean as well. Ultimate's here to support it, but Leviatan again, so well handled in this anti-eco. So this is something that Paper X do time and time again. They'll gamble stack early on, they'll flip to the other side, hope that at least they can get confirmation.
Bien, bien. Vamos, chicos.
We Again, not rewarded for it this time around.
And
This is a reason, yeah.
but in my mind, though, that round to me is nothing to worry about. Now, right time to call the timeout though for Paper Exit, because this is when it could spiral terribly. They have ults to play. They've got everything in their arsenal that if they wanted to bring out, it has to be now, right? Like to stop the rot, it has to be now. They've got everything they could potentially dream of bringing into this. So, where do they take it?
Well, I mean, Leviatan haven't really entertained the idea of fighting for either of these key areas of the map. And don't expect them to do it now. I feel like they're in control of the pace of this half. This is the one ultimately. They expect Paper X to be the ones to really follow through on that. They haven't had the benefit of, you know, the support financially, just with the way this has got out. I mean, it's 4-2 on the half here. Those round victories not necessarily giving them a big boom. Leviatan 4-1 on eco round since the start of the tournament. And again, they looked at it. It's how well they're able to, you know, actually get through, find these openers time and time again. It's the strength in numbers as well. They are always ready to collapse on the back of it.
There's incredible synergy with the Leviatan roster in my mind. They fight as one. It is 5 individuals, you know, kind of fighting as one pack. The trades are perfect. The spacing's great. The utility work is pretty on point. Bloody hell, Forsaken. Always terrifying watching this player. Always. Now, early contact made towards B, but again, noting the weaponry and instantly leaning away from this Leviatan.
I think I now has the support of Devi at least. And hasn't confirmed Leviatan's rotation just yet. And they're pretty deep. I was going to say now that Devi's jumped, he can be able to confirm it here with Prowler.
I don't know if they can slow this down though. The speed in which King just took towards the side. Benkai's deleted. Devi left in no man's land. They're just trying to send it in. It's a 1-for-1 trade out. It ain't enough in the end because there's a 4-man pack of players standing. Devi gonna lean on in though. It's a 1-for-1 trade out. This is so wild. The spike's still to hand though, yet to be planted. Right now, Forsaken chomping at a bit. You could see the consideration. The Prowler goes right on in though. He's revealed, he's noted, he's depleted, he's done. Mind Freak now needs another clutch. And he's being closed in on. Look at the timing. Mel's is there. Leviatan, it's 11. Paper X had everything they wanted that round. And the pace in which they burst towards the site, Leviatan take it all.
Barely breaking a sweat. I mean, it was synonymous with one of the rounds in the first half where I was talking about Paper X scrambling for some sort of direction mid-round. And here again, it's just desperation. King gets ahead of the curve. It's very unorthodox for him to come through here, but after that, it's just throwing bodies on the line to try and get back on site. They're desperate to try and prevent the spike from even being planted.
And they know they've broken Paper X's money. This could be 12. This is such a telling round now. This is so much worry for Paper X. They have to be absolutely flawless in this. They have to somehow make something out of this because it looks like Leviatan now just striding into the game, confidence sign of brim. Already so much attention drawn. You can see the amount of attention to detail towards just Mind Freak alone, but it's Forsaken. But he's only good for one. The site's theirs again, waving the Leviatan banner. The spike's going to go down, and yes, a little bit of maybe backfill going to come in here, maybe a little bit of chip damage, but you need Jing to have masses of impact. Right now, there's 2 players facing him down. They're just going to spray in. They don't care for the Prowler. And Benkai in the 1v4 with just a Sheriff. It's going to be 12 against them, unless a miracle comes true.
It'll be nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah.
No wall, just the one slow orb. Okay. First, unreturned.
Not too much chip damage, but marked, noted. Slow invested, and here's that late round utility, even worse for the post plant. What can Benkai do? Oh, he's being given everything. Oh, he's still finding it. He's trying, man. You can't say he's not trying. But Leviatan with 2 standing, make it to 12. One more round and it's theirs. Paper X have a couple of goes to try and take themselves into a tied up scoreline once again.
It's got to be clean though. It has to be. And these rounds haven't been. Leviatan's ability to just isolate 1, potentially 2 players sometimes. And like I said, it's the strength in numbers. They move as a unit. Just overwhelming. So not even giving Paper X, you know, the opportunity for these individuals to pop off, right? Jing sat at 9 and 19. We're talking about that was a return to a comfort pick, right?
And again, this gives so much room for Leviatan. They can be aggressive. They're being rewarded with this behavior. Tarko's found the first pick, takes out Jing, removes that forward player away, and A looking a little bit more vulnerable. There is a 3-play stack towards it for Paper X, but
this is key as well. Leviatan coming back in, knowing the res is online, they're
Forsaken
going to
needs
pressure this position.
They absolutely need this, though. Forsaken needs to be good for, I'd say 2 at this point. He's still going to find 1. Actually gets to keep his life. No trade. Takes the TP away, so bringing it back to this 4v4.
Good Melza, though. Keep your eye on that mini-map.
I love this readjust, though, from Forsaken here. This is super diligent work. One towards long. Shows nothing, so if anything, might make Forsaken more committed towards this angle. And they are clearing this. Devi considering it. But look at C. It's wide open.
Mindfreak's just come back to pick up this angle, though.
Maybe there's still chance here. Mindfreak needs this. Could change the timing. Okay, it's still not over yet. It's not looking good, though. Melza's absolutely done him. And all that work towards A might be for nothing because that rotate, it won't be there in time to deny any of these plants. And look at Taco's positioning, Mike.
It's here to punish this rotation away. And he can't actually use his TP though, so he has to stand and fight.
Oh, they have no
Well,
idea. Bullet to the
it.
back. Gonna find Forsaken. And they're ready for this fight. Look at these 2 players. Shy's already jump spotting towards this. He's got his ult, he's got his horn, he's got plenty to work with, but they're gonna funnel him towards Garage. What do they have to try and negate any of this presence? Okay, you're gonna use this to clear the site. There's nothing there, nothing towards CT. They need to get a move on. They gotta do it now. It's right on back through. Jing gonna be taken down low. Does get out before the nade hits, but he's gonna have to pressure this. Melza finds Jing. It's a 3v2. Make it just 1. Benkai, how much can 1 man do? It's not enough. 13.